Hey guys, it's Attilee and I'm back for week 2 of Steven's Summer Adventures, and things are really starting to heat up, I think, and I'm so excited for what week 3 and week 4 have in store. But first, we're going to focus on what just happened this week and sort of take stock of everything. I'm going to talk about my feelings and stuff like that, and yeah, let's get with it. So the first episode was Restaurant Wars, which is really interesting. We're getting a lot more insight, I feel like, throughout this whole event into some more of the residents of Beach City, which is something that I'm always really fond of. As much as I love hearing about the gems and seeing what kind of missions and gem backgrounds we can get, seeing sort of the history and the human nature of things over in Beach City is always really intriguing to me and something that really warms my heart. And so we got to see a lot more of the Frymans as well as the pizza family, which was really funny. So yes, we got to see that Ronaldo has a girlfriend, or had a girlfriend, or maybe they're back together, depending on how you interpret his Tumblr over at Keep Beach City Weird. It all depends. But that was Jane, our movie theater girl, which I believe we saw in Lion 2, maybe? One of the Lion episodes, which was really interesting, sort of seeing her tied in there. I really love Jane. She's so cute, and I hope everything works out for Ronaldo and her. I have a feeling that while we've seen some sort of stuff happen on Ronaldo's Tumblr, there might be an episode where Steven tries to patch things up between him and movie theater girl. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Something else that was really fun of this episode was just sort of seeing past dynamics sort of come back to the front. We don't get to see a lot of adults outside of Greg, I feel like, so getting to see Mr. Fryman and Mr. Pizza really go at it, Kofi I should say, not Mr. Pizza, was interesting to me. And I don't know, I like seeing more adult figures just so we sort of have that balance of adult and kid-like natures going on in this series. So moving on from Restaurant Wars, there's Kiki's pizza delivery service, which was interesting for a multitude of reasons. We got to see a lot more of Kiki. She's been, I sort of feel like, a second fiddle to Jenny a lot of the time. Not that I'm trying to start a twin war. Kiki hasn't really had a standalone episode. She's always been sort of lumped together with someone else. So seeing her on her own and sort of dealing with the fact that she is someone that is a people pleaser and sort of seeing some of those interpersonal problems was really fascinating. Plus it had that extra layer of getting to see a bit more of Steven's dream powers, and someone during the week pointed out to me that it actually sort of taps into a little bit of the Freddy Krueger in a positive aspect, power-like things going on there, which is interesting. I'm not a Freddy Krueger fan or anything like that, so that's news to me, but sort of just something to keep in mind when thinking about Steven and his dream powers. It's really fascinating. Monster Reunion was next, and this one, I know in my last week episode I said that I really wasn't planning on doing any reacts or anything like that, just simply because I have just way too much on my plate going on right now, and these videos alone are really enough for me. I kind of cheated. I ended up doing a react video. It's just highlights, really, of Monster Reunion, simply because if anyone follows me over at Crystal Gems on Tumblr, you'll know that Centipedal is arguably one of the most anticipated characters ever to hit the face of the show for me. And so knowing a little bit beforehand the contents of this episode and sort of maybe a little bit of the direction that things were going to go in, I wanted to record it myself for some feelings and things like that. So I'm gonna just throw in those highlights for you right about now so you can sort of see where I'm at, and then we can from there sort of take stock of where I'm feeling right now, a little bit outside of that. I'm excited. Oh, please. Oh, gosh.
Come on, dude. Do your thing.
Gosh, come on.
Be careful.
Oh, gosh.
Is it working? It worked!
No.
You remember me, don't you? I have a bad feeling this didn't work how I wanted it to work.
No.
Possibly not. Guess it'll take more than a kiss to heal damage from the diamonds.
But why?
So it is definitely
My
from the
healing
diamonds
powers are
then.
back. I should be able to do. Sure.
Oh,
I'll prove
oh
her.
no. Oh no. Oh no.
But she's not a monster anymore.
Here, you don't have to watch.
No, please. She can walk and talk, just like you guys.
Not quite, but you know.
See, she can even stay in my room.
Weird.
What is your name? Gurgle Click Click? Oh, right. Can't talk, huh? What are you adding?
Oh,
You remember we
oh
were
no,
buds.
that's really cute.
Do you remember anything from before you mean from long ago?
Oh no.
You're reverting.
Oh no.
Here, I'll heal you again.
Okay. Okay. Fingers crossed something good happens here, because this has been really, really sad. I didn't think it would be this sad. I didn't think it would be this sad. Oh no. Open the door. Open the door panel. I can see the hand thing. Open it. Open it. Open it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Can I hang with you, dudes?
Oh my god, Amethyst.
And I'm sorry.
That was an emotional episode. And then Rebecca Sugar is singing. Oh. I didn't cry, but I feel like my heart's crying. So, mission accomplished, Rebecca Sugar. So yeah, so those are sort of my instant gut reaction thoughts and feelings for that episode. Now I'm feeling a little bit better, a little bit less emotionally raw and kicked on like I was instantly. It was great seeing more Centipedal, obviously not in the way that I had anticipated or expected, but still with really more great things to come. And there was some really neat reveals there too. Thinking on it in hindsight, we got to see that gem monsters, if they all have the same type of gem, they're going to be the same. It's not based off of the gem's personality per se, which is really interesting to know. So for all we know, we might see amethyst or pearl or garnet monsters in the future. But getting that background of Centipedal's character was really interesting too, and sort of having a non-verbal character I thought was really special, especially given that Steven's patience with her and love and understanding and want to communicate regardless of what worked for her was just really special, I thought, and just is a testament to just how loving of a character Steven is in all aspects. Moving on from Monster Reunion is Alone at Sea, and that one was really interesting too, and a really highly intense emotional episode between Lapis and Jasper. It's really getting into the dynamics of a toxic relationship outside of Malachite, sort of seeing these face-to-face characters talking it out. And it's not like a Garnet situation where we're seeing two aspects of a fusion really loving and missing one another for a positive reason. We're seeing two characters love and miss one another in a way that's not healthy for either character. A lot of people have been arguing online that Lapis is the one that's at fault for this toxic relationship, or Jasper is the one who's at fault, and it's sort of a lot of finger pointing, I feel like, but really what it comes down to is there's two personalities that are mashing together here that just are not meant to be. It's never going to be healthy. It's never going to be cohesive. And maybe one day they'll be able to get over that and at least find a neutrality point, but I don't really ever see this relationship going to the positive, which is saying something considering a lot of this series I feel like I do look for positives and I do look for those silver linings for any scenario, be it an action-packed situation or an emotional one. But I don't know, at this point in time I really can't foresee anything beyond just some kind of resolution of like, hey, let's agree to just never fuse again and just go our separate ways coming from this. Toxic relationships, I have firsthand experience with friendships, but not necessarily romantic or maybe more coupled relationships like this. So I have some feelings about that sometimes I want to bring up and other times I don't. But for now, I'm just kind of thinking like a good solid break between the two of them would probably be the best result out of any of this. And finally, our Friday episode was Greg the Babysitter, which was a lot more lighthearted following these two pretty dramatic episodes, but still had a little bit of an emotional touch, a little tug at the heartstrings there. We got to see I am in love with flashback episodes, and this is one of those, particularly because we get a lot more context for who Rose is and what Rose was about as a character. Getting to sort of see her interacting with baby sour cream was really, really fascinating, and sort of maybe indicates sort of where she was feeling and what she was sort of considering in creating Steven with Greg later on down the road. I don't know, I thought it was fascinating. Not to mention we get some more insight into Greg's character. We've seen him all the time being a very responsible and upstanding dad. You know, he's always been there for Steven and has always been a really solid adult figure and father figure for him in one way or another. But seeing him sort of screw up with sour cream and not do that good of a job babysitting him right off the bat and just being generally a young adult who's maybe more concerned with when his next album is going to come out and a lot less concerned about growing up. I don't know, it was really relatable for me sort of seeing Greg in this situation as far as like learning to grow up and sort of wanting to stand on your own 2 feet and not rely on everyone around you. That's a choice, it's a personal choice, and it's one that, you know, sometimes takes baby steps to get there. So seeing Greg sort of make that choice and, I don't know, become independent was really fascinating to me. I don't know. This week was really, really fun, really emotional. And again, I feel like those emotional impacts and revelations about Steven's powers that have been happening over the last 2 weeks, things are really leading up to somewhere in the next 2 weeks that is going to make, I think, some serious strides in terms of macro plot that we're going to see, which is just really fascinating. I definitely think we're going to see a whole lot more Jasper. She's going to be a serious antagonist for the Crystal Gems to face off against. I think we're going to see a lot more of Connie, honestly. We really didn't get that much of her this week, but we did have a whole lot of her, as well as seeing Stevani in the previous week, and I really think that's going somewhere as well. I don't know. I'm really fascinated by all the direction of things are going. I'm really looking forward to maybe seeing some more gems a la Centipedal, or maybe even some more gem monsters. We haven't seen one of those in a while, have we? But yeah, I'm really excited about these next 2 weeks, which, speaking of next week, I'm hoping to have another episode out in between Friday and next Sunday, but I am actually going out of the country all throughout week 4, so I'm probably going to be really late getting to any of that, and if anyone follows me on Tumblr, I'm not going to be available during that time period, which it's kind of sucky, but you know, I can't really complain about getting out of the country. That's kind of fun, especially for vacation. So if you follow me on Tumblr, I'm going to be unavailable during week 4. Week 3, I'm here all the way. The possibility of making a video might not be happening, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, please comment. What did you think about week 2, and what are you looking forward for the next 2 weeks? I'm super pumped up. I don't know about you guys. And I don't know, like, comment, subscribe. I'm so excited to have you guys here to talk the show out with me. I couldn't have gotten this far and still wanted to hang out with this series if it weren't for such a supportive community that's built up around me. So thank you so much. For now, I will see you guys next week. All right, bye. Hopefully next week.